Hey everybody, Jim Masters here. Welcome to the Jim Masters Show, live entertainment lifestyle celebrity talk show series. So excited because our next guest coming up for you is a return guest and a great fan and friend of our show, and we are a big fan of hers. The incomparable Debby Campbell is back, of course, daughter of the iconic Glen Campbell. She is a country music singer in her own right. She has a brand new single that is out as well, which is very exciting. We're going to tell you about that. And she's still flying through the skies with American Airlines. I don't know if you knew that she is also doing that and has been doing that for years. She just got back from beautiful Nice, France. Not too bad. It's so nice when our guests like to return to the Jim Masters Show to enjoy these great conversations. We don't call these really interviews as much. They're really more like conversations. And she is always honoring and celebrating her iconic father, the one and only Glen Campbell. If you didn't see the episode where Debby was with us here on the show previously, it was an epic conversation. We really talked so much about her life and her upbringing and her passions and her accomplishments and so much more. And of course, her iconic father. And we're focusing on something very special, which is this new single released by Plateau Music. It Looks Like Rain by the incomparable Debby Campbell, our guest right now live on the Jim Masters Show. The song is about Alzheimer's, and Debby recorded this song on her album titled The Way We Were, that was dedicated to her father, the late, the incomparable, and the beloved Glen Campbell, who passed away from this terrible disease. We're so honored to have this opportunity to talk about this very important topic in Debby's life. Of course, country music singer and activist for Alzheimer's. Debby, she was born in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and she is the eldest of 8 children and the daughter of the famous Rhinestone Cowboy himself, Glen Campbell. She loved singing from an early age, spent many summers with her father on tour. She graduated high school in England, where she lived with her mother and stepfather Jack. And when Glen became a successful hit recording artist, he performed in the UK, he would send for Debby so they could spend time together, father and daughter. In her early 20s, she got married, became a mother of 2 boys, and she resided in Italy and the United States. And in 1987, she became really a part of her father's show as a featured singer, and she toured with Glen Campbell and the show for 20 years, including tours in Europe, Australia, New Zealand, Tasmania, Bermuda, and venues around the globe. Her appreciation for country music has earned her a show in Branson, Missouri at the Roy Clark Theater. In the 1990s, she continued her musical career as a featured singer at the Grand Palace with her father and, of course, the Glen Campbell Goodtime Theater, ending with its residency at the Andy Williams Moon River Theater as well. I think it's such a beautiful thing. I just love this shot that we're showing on screen here. She pays homage to and celebrates her father in such a loving way that only really she could do on stage and in music. Her musical highlights also include hosting the Jerry Lewis MDA Telethon, opening for 4 well-known singers and Grammy Award artists such as Charlie Daniels. Yeah, she also worked with Charlie Daniels and a lot of other big names too. Jerry Reed and Colin Ray. She performed the national anthem for the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas as well. She has been credited with recording duets with Glen, her dad, on United We Stand, Let It Be Me, Little Green Apples, and on multiple recordings of her father's live with South Dakota Symphony on CD and on DVD as well. Glen recorded some of his final musical works with Debby, and she was instrumental on the background vocals as well, which is such a beautiful thing. Debby has recorded an album which was produced by Nashville producer Tony Manter, a good friend of our show. He was a guest on our show as well. If you didn't see that episode, go back in the archives. All of our shows, all of the episodes of the Jim Masters Show Live series are all archived for you on the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. So you can see hundreds of them. Check them all out in case there's anything you missed or you want to see again, including the previous episode when Debby was a guest here on JMS. And this is, of course, in dedication to her father, and it contains many of Glen Campbell's hit records, in addition to some of the personal favorites as well. And while Debby stays active with the Alzheimer's cause, she has performed for the McLaughlin Alzheimer's Research Institute and the True Grit Festival in Colorado as well. She finds time for her family, friends, and enjoys bowling and golf, travel, continues to sing. from time to time. And she just really loves sharing the memory with all of us of her iconic father. Again, really, it's a love story, dad and daughter. And Glen Campbell himself, of course, one of the most beloved American treasures in the musical world, recording artist, country music star, and so much more. And many people love listening to the songs, the iconic songs, the greatest hits, because you feel good when you hear his music. It just makes you feel real good, brings you back in time. And here's a wonderful shot with Debbie and her dad, Glen Campbell. And we've got some wonderful photos and different things here we'll sort of sprinkle in. How many people watching also remember the Glen Campbell music show? That's very popular on television as well. He's toured the world himself and has won so many awards and accolades and gold records and everything else. And again, she is doing her thing, sharing her music as well as celebrating her father's legendary iconic status, his contributions to the world and to music, and also wrapping it around that incredibly important cause of Alzheimer's research and so much more, which again, I think is such a beautiful thing that she's doing. So we're excited. We're very excited to have her back here on the show. She's got lots to share with us here. And again, she just flew in from France just to be with us and with you. All right, let's welcome her back to the Jim Masters Show, the incomparable Debby Campbell. Debbie, welcome.
Hi, Jim. Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm great. I got to correct you on one thing. I have a daughter also, you know.
Yes, you do.
I have a daughter and two sons. So there you go.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So how have you been since we chatted last?
I'm good. I'm working a lot. Got more kids, more grandkids.
It's amazing how that happens, huh?
I know. I have 8 now. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So, yeah.
You have 8 now. Wow. That's
7 and 1 great.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're still in Arizona?
I am. Yep. Still living in Phoenix. And
so I imagine the air conditioning is on about now?
It is. But, you know, I don't really like air conditioning, Jim. I mean, of course I have it on, but I'm not one of those that has it way down because I'm cold all the time. So, yeah.
You know, I love that wall of fame you have behind you. Tell us about what we're seeing there, because I know the viewers are seeing that. They're already commenting. They're like,
let me move this way. That's my grandma and grandpa up there with Dad. And then right below that over here, that's Dad as a beach boy. Al Jardine's in the background and Mike Love over here. Yeah. And then my grandparents over here. And that's me and Dad. I think that was at an event for, an event for the Glen Campbell LA Open when Dad was running the Los Angeles Open in LA. And then that's just a picture of me over here, way over there. That's a picture of me and Dad backstage. And then this picture a fan gave me from Manchester of where Dad performed in Liverpool, and that theater is no longer, they tore that down. And of course, here's my logo. Which way? I gotta go this way. Debby Campbell Goodtime Show when I was doing, during COVID, when I was doing my shows. And yeah, so this is my computer room, and rather than slather pictures throughout the house, I have them all in here.
That's fantastic. That's beautiful that you do that in tribute to all of those people that are so important in your life. I was mentioning, you know, before we went live on air, you and I were chatting before going on air, that you just got back from Nice, from France.
No, okay. Huh? I have to. I was in Nice, but I came home from Denmark yesterday. I was.
Is she a world traveler?
I was in Nice the day before.
Wow.
And I was in Rome before that.
So we'll just say she's been out of the country.
I have.
That'll take care of everything.
I have been out of the country. Yes.
You love the traveling still, you know, working with the airlines?
I do, Jim. I love, you know, they just opened Copenhagen and Naples, Italy, and Nice, France, and Philadelphia. So I transferred to Philadelphia so that I could do the international flying, because we have London here in Phoenix, but it's seasonal. And so I want to see the cities that I've never been to. So that's why I went to Philadelphia.
You know, it's really amazing, too, how your father his music resonates with people today. And there's a whole new generation of people that are introduced to his music for the very first time, and then super fans, of course, who have been following all these years and love to listen to the music. What do you think it is? What is the indelible mark he's made that still resonates with people today in terms of the music, the sound, his personality? Is one of the most beloved figures in the music industry. What do you think it is about your dad, Glen Campbell, that still sits in the hearts and minds of people today?
Well, of course, the fans that knew him and actually met him and got to spend time with him, they knew that he was a genuine, loving person and cared, and the songs, he was a storyteller. So he picked songs that told a story. And, he was so gorgeous. I mean, he was so good looking. Dad was just, he had it all. He had it all. He had the looks. He was a great musician. So musicians all around the world love him, because of that. And his voice, so soothing, his music that he chose to sing. And I just think that all wrapped up in one.
What was it like getting a chance to perform with him, as of course you had that opportunity on multiple occasions, which is such a beautiful thing. What was that like for you?
It was very surreal.
Yeah.
Because I didn't grow up with him, Jim. So
Right.
Being able to be on the road with him and travel at night. Especially when we were in the UK, because in the UK, Dad and I would leave right after a show and drive to the next city, and then he could relax in the hotel all day, and I could sightsee, and then we'd do a show that night, get in the car. So I spent so much time with him, and we would play a lot of cards, a lot of gin games, on airplanes and cars, watch Wheel of Fortune in hotels, bet in a quarter to see who could guess, the clue first. We just became best friends. We had a lot of great times together.
People have images of people that they revere and they admire, whether they're in music, television, sports, anywhere they're in the public eye. What would be something you would say about your dad that would confirm for the super fans how wonderful a person he really was? Meaning, a lot of times people have an image of somebody and they don't really know them. They just see that image.
Right.
But being the family member, the loving daughter, you knew him, better than any of us. And of course, the rest of your family too, knowing him.
Right.
What would be something that people would love to hear that is extra special about Glen Campbell to us, but Dad to you?
He wasn't a snob, I mean, if people would come up to him and we'd be eating out, if they came up and asked for an autograph, he loved it. And then he'd want to talk to him for 10 minutes, telling him jokes. And, he never scoffed at anybody that would come up and want to talk to him. He was very genuine. He really enjoyed people. And he just was an all-around great guy. He really was.
Which is, yeah. And
you don't get that a lot.
No.
With some artists, and he was very genuine.
You actually took time too, which I think you do such a beautiful job in cherishing the legacy, honoring and respecting the legacy, sharing the legacy with everybody else. And you're so cognizant of the fans, the people that have always admired him, love him, have all the music, love to know anything they can get as far as who he was and what he's all about and what made him tick, which I think is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And you in your own right, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, are a spectacular singer with a beautiful voice, and you're terrific on stage. You're a great show person. You're a great entertainer, and you attract an audience of fans as well. Not that you're touring all the time or any of that. You select what you're able to do, and you have a wonderful way of balancing the performance, celebrating Dad, what you do with the airlines, and family.
Right.
I think it's a beautiful thing that you're doing. How are you able to balance it all? Does it get a little crazy sometimes?
No, not really, Jim. I mean, I was in Arkansas at the beginning of July for the Campbell family reunion. That was amazing. I love my family so much. They are the sweetest, salt of the earth people that you ever want to know. Got to spend time at Dad's grave, have cherished those moments. I just do what I do, and if my kids need me, then I work my schedule around that, my flying schedule, and I'm still friends with a lot of Dad's fans, but they're my age, so it's easy. It's like not like I'm friends with his fans; they're my age, and they're my friends now, and I still keep in touch with them, and yeah, I cherish. I mean, I still keep in touch with fans over in Europe, and in fact, I'm so excited that I went back to Philly because I have fans of Dad's in Dublin, and I'm going to do some Dublin overnights and get together with them and they play music, and they're called the Two Dubs.
Well, I love that.
And they play the greatest Irish music. Oh my gosh, as well as doing Dad's music also. And so we'll go hang out in a pub, and they'll bring their instruments, and we'll sing and just have a great time. And so I'm excited to go back to Dublin and see them.
That's fantastic. That
Yeah,
is great. So you love Ireland, huh?
I do love Ireland.
Isn't
Yeah.
it great?
Yeah, and Dad's got fans in Manchester, but since COVID came, they stopped flying to Manchester, and we haven't started it back up yet. So I'm
Is there
hoping.
Irish within the roots?
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
that's fantastic. You know what?
Tipperary, Tipperary.
Oh, Tipperary, huh?
Yeah.
That's a great spot. Hey,
Yeah.
look at this wonderful photo we dug up
Oh,
here. Isn't
that's
that
the one I
great?
have on my wall that I showed you. Yeah,
That's true. When was this taken, Debbie?
that was at the Glen Campbell Los Angeles Open. They were
Wow.
having a benefit. They have benefits at the golf tournaments every year at all the golf tournaments, and that was yeah. So I think I was like 17 or 18. That's right
Mm,
after I moved to LA to live with Dad. Yeah.
that's wonderful. Look at this shot too.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
That's cool.
Thanks. Probably was 16 there maybe.
And how about this?
Ah, that's so funny. That
Isn't
was
that
taken.
beautiful,
That
everybody?
was
Isn't
in
it?
Carlsbad, California. That was at Billy, my first stepmom's mom's house, Frank and Lily.
And what were
And
you, maybe 7 or 8 there?
gosh, maybe. God, it kind of looks like my great granddaughter Hazel.
Really? See the family
I
resemblance?
know. That's funny. Yeah.
It's such a beautiful shot, really. I mean, all of these. I would imagine too, uh, and I'm sure if he was here and he was on the show, I would ask him. Uh, he was very proud of you, very proud of your accomplishments and the family, like you say, they would be your children, but his grandkids and the whole family, like you said, the warm, loving salt of the earth family. Here he is, a megastar.
Right.
Here he is, somebody that's traveling and recording and stage performances and TV shows and TV appearances, all the talk shows and everything else. And here, as a result, is this extraordinary body of work that's still heard today, still played today, commemorated, celebrated, but at the same time, a loving family that is a result of everything as well. I would imagine he would be incredibly proud.
I think definitely that. I think what he was most proud of, Jim, is that I have a good work ethic. Even when I went to live with him in LA at the height of his career in the early 70s, I worked at a t-shirt shop down on Sunset Boulevard. I worked in a home, waiting on, like a retirement home. As it was a server in the retirement home. I've always worked, and I think that is what Dad respected about me most. And here I've been a flight attendant going on 38 years. So
Which is amazing, I tell you. Yeah. And the kids, you mentioned the kids. Are any of the kids in the industry?
no, not as far as singing. He was in LA, and he's a member of SAG-AFTRA, and so he's been in a lot of commercials. He was in the movie. What was that movie? I can't remember it offhand. Oh, something cakes and bars. It's pretty new, but he's in a scene right in the beginning of that when she brings the first cake into, sitting in bars eating cake. I think that might be the name of it. But he's in that. at the very beginning, the first cake that she brings into the bar. He's got a speaking part in that. But he does a lot of commercials, a lot of background work. I think he's done every season of Singer somehow behind the scenes. But now they're moving to Phoenix. So, and we do have SAG after here in Phoenix. I just don't know what that's going to be for Jeremy, how that will involve him. So he's really the only one that's been in the entertainment type of business. But my son Jesse is a chef. He's even been on Chopped, and he did very well. I cried my eyes out because he didn't win, because he didn't get the last item plated in time. If he would have just had like 2 more seconds, oh my gosh!
Do you remember what the dish was he was working on?
You know what? It was Carnival. I think it was Carnival Spectacular. I think you can go to YouTube and see the episode. It's something like Circus Spectacular or Carnival Spectacular. And they had to make, when they opened the basket, it had to do with stuff you find at a carnival, like a corn dog, chips, and so they had to make dishes based on all that. But he's got his own business in Port Washington, and he's really a great cook. I mean, he knows his stuff. I'm really proud of him. I'm proud of all my kids. My daughter's in the dental field, so they're all
38 years, that's real dedication to the airline industry as well. We may have talked about it previously, but for the new viewers, what first inspired you to want to get into the airline industry? What was it about it that sort of, drew you in?
Well, of course, living with my stepdad and my mom, traveling, we'd move every 4 years. We'd be stationed somewhere every 4 years, so I was used to moving. And I became a school bus driver. Right. I was a school bus driver for like 7 years, and driving in snow in a school bus with screaming kids is. I thought, you know what? Maybe I want to fly above the snow.
Did you ever have to stop the bus once and?
Oh yeah, definitely, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But I enjoyed it when I did it. I loved it. It fulfilled the need at the time because I was having small children, and I could just take the kids to school and then be at home with my kids, and then go back out, drive the kids home to their home, and then come home to my kids. So it enabled me to be home more in the early days of my kids. But and then America West Airlines was hiring here in Phoenix in 1987, and I thought, you know what? I love to see the world, so I'm gonna. Not knowing at that time that I would be singing with Dad later on that year in September, and I'd see the world anyway, so I got best of both worlds. A lot nicer hotels with Dad, I'll have to say. But
yeah. What was the very first time you sang with your father?
Here in Phoenix, yeah, it was at the State Fair. Yeah, it was at the State Fair, September of 1987.
Now, was it something where you had said, Dad, I would love to sing with you, or did he say, Debbie, come sing with me, or how did that happen?
I said, Dad, can I do a song with you on stage? He goes, well, sure. What do you want to sing? And then we decided, he gave me some options, and Burning Bridges. That was the first. It's a good song. I want to say it was written by Jack Scott. I think that I'm correct on that. But anyway, it's a good song. It was one of Dad's first albums, Burning Bridges. And so I do it in my show to pay tribute to. That's the very first song I ever sang on stage.
What if you? Everybody has their favorites when it comes to Glen Campbell's songs. What are some of your favorites and they might not even be the ones that everybody always picks, but do you have a couple of personal favorites that are just the ones you just really either love to perform or love that he sang, or both?
Right. Well, I loved I Will Never Pass This Way Again. That was one of my favorite songs. Dad used to do that on stage. I loved it. Stars, stars, they come and go. They go fast, they go slow. He used to sing that in Vegas, and he'd have a screen of all the different stars that have passed, and he'd barrel through just crash it and come out, introducing himself then. But it was such a great, great song. I love that. But I like Phoenix, of course. I love Wichita Lineman. And Jim, I never thought I'd be singing these songs ever. Who thought I'd be singing Wichita Lineman? But I love it, and I do it good. So why not,
How about as far as songwriting with you as well, and your own material?
I have never written a song, but you know what, Jim? I bet I could if I
I
had the right person sitting with me. Because I always have a song in my head.
I would think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
I just have never, because kids, job, singing. I just never sat down with anybody to really try to do something like that. But I would love to do that. That would be interesting to see if I really had that gift.
He also had Christmas music out too, and I know a lot of artists love to have that Christmas album because people love that. Um, how about you with Christmas?
It's funny that you say that. I had mentioned that to Tony Mantor a couple of months ago. I said, Tony, I think I really want to do a Christmas CD. I just love Dad's Christmas CD, that Christmas feeling. That's one of my most favorite Christmas albums that Dad ever did. He's did a couple, but that's my favorite. And I love Christmas. I love Christmas music. And so I think maybe who knows? Maybe we will. Maybe we will.
Your father also got a chance to work with other titans in the music industry, film industry, television, and more. Are there folks that are still with us that you would love to collaborate with, do duets with? Or has that been something that has interested you at all? Folks that maybe he had an opportunity to perform with over the years as well?
Oh gosh, I'd love to do a duet with Engelbert Humperdinck. I just love Eng. That's going way back, in the days of Dad, of course. Um, I don't know. I really have never thought about that. I did do Let It Be Me with Colin Ray one year. He was doing a show in Ohio. And so I flew there and we did Let It Be Me. But yeah, I mean, sure, I'd love to. I never really thought about it actually, Jim. If it happens, it's great. My cousin and I, Stevie, my Uncle Gerald's son, I told them, they have a band in Arkansas. And I told them, learn it so we can do it. Because that family harmony, you're not going to beat it.
Absolutely. Just ask the Osmonds, right?
Exactly. Love the Osmonds. They were in Branson for a long time. And I love
Yes.
Meryl and Jay and all of them. They're just awesome. Wayne.
We have a mutual friend in Tony Orlando, of
Oh, I love
course.
Tony. Oh my gosh. I love
And
him so
we
much.
were at he's been on our show 3 times, and he's a wonderful friend, but he did that final wrap up of
Right.
his on stage performances, and it was extraordinary. He did, talk about these kinds of people who really have given us so much, like your father, like a Tony Orlando, and so many others, and you continuing in your way to celebrate and with your own music as well, in terms of your father's music interpreted in such a beautiful way.
Right.
Tony did a 3.5 hour nonstop, no intermission
Wow.
show in
Wow.
Mohegan Sun.
Right. I
It
love the Mohegan Sun. And I think I saw a video of that yesterday. Didn't the girls come, Dawn?
Yes, they
Yep.
came,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was absolutely spectacular, and really, and he also did a wonderful tribute to the veterans. He
Oh,
actually
nice. Yeah, he
had
does. He's been
the
very good
veteran. He put
about
the
that.
spotlight on everybody, from anybody that was there from World War One. Please stand, and then he would sing like "Welcome Home, We Love You." I mean, it was
Right.
really incredible. World
Right.
War II, Vietnam, all the way up to recent, and that was just a beautiful thing to do as
Tony's
well.
amazing.
I would imagine too that there are people that you got a chance to either know throughout the years that your father knew, who have then become not just the fans, but other contemporaries in the musical world who worked with your father, collaborated with your father, or were just friends of your father,
Right.
contemporaries who have become friends of yours as well.
Oh yeah, Tony. He's like, Debbie, straighten that crown up. You are country royalty, girl. I just love him. He's so sweet, and I love the Oak Ridge Boys. So sad we just lost Joe Bonzel, but loved performing with them in Branson, and we had so much fun together. And Mickey Gilley. I mean, in 1987 through the early 90s, Branson was so magical because we had so many wonderful artists like Loretta Lynn, Charlie Pride. Um, Merle Haggard, Conway Twitty, all of those artists were performing in Branson around that time. And it was truly, truly a magical time. And Dad loved it. He loved it because those were all his buddies. I mean, It was really a wonderful time.
You mentioned, with Tony saying you're the queen. I think your father also being the king.
Oh, exactly. King Bacchus, exactly. I have a couple of those coins.
Do you really?
Yeah, when you know how they throw their coins out when they're driving down the parade. Yeah, yeah.
I want to, I'd be remiss. Of course, this is a great shot too
Oh,
of
thanks.
you performing. And again, if you ever get a chance to see her in concert anywhere, make sure you get the tickets, folks. You'll be pleasantly surprised and enjoy it. But you wrote this fabulous book, and I did want to mention this as well. I know we mentioned it on the previous episode, but I think it's just good for super fans and folks who want to learn about another iconic figure as Glen. Life with My Father, Glen Campbell. Tell us about the inspiration for writing this book. And it's been so well received as well. Congratulations on that, Debbie.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Yeah, I I was going through a lot. Dad had just been diagnosed with Alzheimer's. A lot of my world changed as well as his, and I just wanted to tell my story of how I came from a girl that really didn't know her dad because there were other kids, different marriages, 4 marriages, and how I fought my way through all of it, through the business people, the fans, the industry, and became best friends with my dad, and how I fought my way through all of it. And that's kind of what the story is about.
What was it like writing the book? Was it very therapeutic,
Yes,
cathartic?
absolutely. Yes,
It was.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I would imagine you probably even learned a lot of things about him and even about yourself as you were writing that,
Right.
right?
I'll tell you what, when I learned a lot, Jim, was when I watched the Elvis movie. When I watched that Elvis movie, I cried my eyes out because I'm a daughter stepped out of the situation and seeing what really went on around my dad that I couldn't see when you're in the middle of it. And when I watched that Elvis movie, it really hit home. It
What
really
would
hit
be
home.
something that stood out for you that resonated when you did watch that movie that surprised you, that you were left
That
with?
that how people can handle you and you're not knowing it. How they handled Elvis. Um, and when I'm a kid just trying to have a relationship with my dad, I'm not really seeing that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I stepped back and I saw that movie. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, wow, yeah. So
Yeah.
there, and
It's
I cried.
yeah.
I just cried and cried and cried.
You've done something very beautiful, and that is you are really an activist. You're somebody who is spreading the information, the word about something that a lot of people within their families deal with, and that's Alzheimer's. And of course, your father was inflicted with that. What was it where you said, okay, it's touched our family, but I really want to immerse myself in it, learn as much as I can about it, and
Right.
then share information with people, give people maybe a sense of hope, celebrate through music, through song? What was it about it? Because again, when it affects a family, you're dealing with it head on as you
Right.
have, but then sometimes that's all they do. You wanted to take it further and use whatever
I want to help raise
resources,
money. Right. Yeah.
right, which I think is a beautiful, beautiful thing. When did you decide to do that, and tell us about some of the incredible work that you do
Well,
on behalf of everybody?
absolutely right away. You want to learn as much as you can, but it's ever changing, Jim. So, you can learn the telltale signs, but then they might not be that. They might just be dementia. I mean, I just want to raise as much money as possible so that they can keep researching. You know, and yeah, it's just yeah, it's a horrible, horrible disease. I've seen so many people and their family, their loved ones, have gone through the same thing, and just be there for them. They might not know who you are, but you know exactly who they are, and don't let go until you have to. Um, I don't know what else to say. There's just, I've gone everywhere I can, like to Montana to the McLaughlin Research Center, just to hear everything that they've done with it, and just go wherever they need me, to help raise money.
And I imagine you probably hear from some of the families and people who have dealt with it, dealing with it, and who have been touched by it. And that must be very beautiful for you to receive that as well, huh?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. But everybody's different,
Right.
Some people's goes on for years. Some people is immediate, it's just.
And quick and swift.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Absolutely. I just think it's a beautiful thing that you're doing that. And it also honors, the memory of your beloved father.
Right.
And in addition to, the way that you're doing it, being an activist and getting the word out, you've also released this very special single, which I know you are over the moon about, as are we, as is everybody. And congratulations on that. And working with Tony and everybody to put that together, which is a beautiful thing. What inspired it? Of course, taking it from the album to release that single. What was it that inspired you to do it and to do it now?
Well, I've been especially, I was the honoree for April 19th this year, and Tony actually brought me the song, and he goes, "Listen to this song," and it just resonated with me because it was like when I was sitting with Dad.
There's a little door opening.
I know.
That's cool.
It's my
That's
great-granddaughter, and I'm trying.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It happens all the time
She
on
said,
our
"I
show.
want
We
to
love
hear." I said, "You cannot come in the room, but you can sit out there and listen."
We just see a little hand and a little knob turning. It's cute.
I know. You got to keep the door shut. Thank you, love. And no, honey, we're in the middle of an interview. Thank you, honey. I know. So I've even lost my train of thought.
The love of family, Debbie.
I know.
Right?
I know. Yes, school's out right now, and her mom works every day, so we're here.
And what's her name?
Hazel.
Hazel. Hello, Hazel from Jim Masters and all the loveties of the Jim Masters.
Granddaughter, Jim. Great granddaughter.
Hard to believe, right? That went in a New York minute. So you were talking about.
But anyway, Tony
the song,
said, "Listen to this song," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, that is like hits me on so many levels." Going into Dad's room and he's sitting in his chair, just staring out the window. Just the farm. Dad grew up in rural Arkansas. It just really hit home, and so I thought I have to do that.
We have an aunt in Massachusetts who is in the throes of it right now, and she still is, but a very active person. She was born in Vienna, Austria.
Wow.
And she lives in Massachusetts with our uncle, and they're beautiful home. And you go to their house, and it's like you're going to Hansel and Gretel's house or something. All these wonderful things from Austria, and there's German china and dishes, and just really fantastic. And when you look at her, she's now, God bless her, 96.
Wow.
96. He, 95. They've been married for well over 70 years. God bless them both.
Wow, that's amazing.
He and his daughter, our cousin, because they are all together now.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking care of her, watching over her. But she is still spry as much as possible. Sits in the window in the kitchen with a cup of coffee, looks out the window at the beautiful lake, because they have a lake house. Cousins have a lake house. Looks out and looks at the daffodils, look at the boats going by, somebody kayaking, and she smiles. And then on the radio, because they have a Bose radio in the kitchen that plays a lot.
Right.
Every once in a while, when something comes on the radio that triggers her, she starts smiling, and she starts it's almost as if she's a kid again, because it's usually things that have some sort of like a marching band beat. Maybe it's German music or something
right.
Germanesque that she remembers as a child.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden there she's back. And it's amazing how music and certain things like that a certain sense, certain things we surround ourselves can trigger, even if it's fleeting, a memory.
Right.
And I'm sure you saw that your firsthand and experienced it
Oh,
as
yeah.
well.
I had to laugh. I was sitting in the home with Dad, and we were watching TV. And he always read the tickers across the bottom of the TV. And they were playing Purple Rain because Prince had just passed away. And he hadn't talked to me in 3 hours, Jim, because that's what they do. They just go into their zone and they don't talk or anything. He looks at me and he goes, "Honey, that's what you could do in the next show. Purple Rain." I'm going, "Oh, sure, Dad. That's what they want to hear me sing." He hadn't talked to me for 3 hours, and then boom, he hears this, and it just triggers stage, and this is what I'm going to sing. He was so funny. Oh my gosh. The hardest thing I think for me was I gave him his guitar to play for me while I was with him, and he took it and he turned it around and looked at it, and then he just handed it back, and that was very heartbreaking for that. It's like, what do I do with this?
What is this? What is this you're giving me? Right.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah. It's not easy for anybody. It's very,
No.
very tough. And,
No.
I have a friend who was the same thing, and her husband, was only 69. And, it was the same thing. And a sweetheart of a guy, very loving person, a professional photographer, just really, and all about family and love and kindness and same thing. And we saw, but when I would go over to the house, I would bring photos, and he was a phenomenal photographer. He took a number of my television headshots too, and we would go on these shoots, and it wasn't even like a typical shoot. It was fun. We had so much fun and laughing at these great locations, and he would snap as we were doing it, and these wonderful shots. And I went over and I would bring some of these photos over, and it would trigger him to, I remember when we did that. We were at the lake,
Right.
or we were in the city, and it would and I would try to dig up as many things as I could when we would go over, just sort of trigger whatever I could, to make him smile and to make him know that he's loved by everybody. And that, as you well know, is one of the most important things you can do. It's almost like when you're with somebody who is passing away and they're in the hospital or a home or whatever, or a hospice, whatever it may be. If you're blessed enough to actually have the time with them like that,
Right.
to reassure them it's okay, and to comfort them as they slip away, right? All of that is so vitally important.
Right. I have a friend in fact, it's one of Dad's dearest fans, Kevin, and he made a photo book of Dad, all different photos and a CD with certain music on it. And Dad just loved going through that book. I mean, it was, the same book every day. He would sit there and open it and look at all the pictures, and there'd be pictures when Dad was a beach boy. And of course, he made the CDs to go along with it. And that was really a special thing that Kevin did. And Dad really loved it. Really great.
It is something really, really special. And the relationship that you did develop with your father is a true blessing, because that's something that not everybody gets a chance to do, whether their parent is somebody incredibly famous and loved around the world, or just somebody in their life. They don't always get a chance to have that. And you were able to have it. And I know it's something that you cherish and celebrate. And and you share with us, and you can see resemblance. You definitely can see the resemblance. I saw it the first time you came on our show. I can see it absolutely and positively. It's a beautiful thing, and hats off to you for doing what you do, and again for the cause of Alzheimer's as well. What was it about this particular song that was the song for now to release?
Well, I really haven't heard any other ones that have been brought to me, and Tony said, "I really like this song," and I said, "All right, I like it too. Let's do it." So either you know it or you don't. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't have put it on the CD, of course, and the CD wasn't a tribute to Dad, and he was dying of Alzheimer's, so it made sense.
Which is perfect. And we actually have a video here that was sent along, and we'll play that here. And it's really terrific. This has, the words as well. It looks like rain. Do you know maybe for the viewers watching, the purpose of the title of the song, where that came from?
I would think staring outside, would be, I don't know. I really don't know. Jeff.
Like a statement on life sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Almost like it looks like rain, but the sun will come out after the rain. Kind of like, wherever there's dark, there's light.
I know. And Tony had been on me, Deb, we got to do a video for this. And I've just been so busy with kids and work, and I'd have to go to Nashville, and I just couldn't find the time. And I just feel so bad, but we do want to do a video eventually, a correct video for it.
Exactly.
Because it definitely deserves that.
Oh, it sure does. And it's a beautiful, beautiful song. Here it is, gang. And we'll be back with our very special guest spending some time with us, our return guest and a favorite of our fans and of mine, Debby Campbell. Take a look at this, gang. It looks like rain.
Wow.
It looks like rain, but it's pure magic.
Need a video for that, don't we, Jim?
Yes, but even that is very touching. Just we're getting so many comments from everybody. I know I said this before the first time you were with us, Debby, but your voice is pure gold. It's silky smooth, it's magical, and it's so heartfelt. You know what I mean? You really are just bringing us all in with you as you're singing the song. It's fantastic. Do you have formal vocal training, or is this a gift from God that you were presented with, or both? Because it's really beautiful.
Never had any training at all. I never even knew I could sing. Back in the day, I dabbled with rock groups and stuff, screaming my voice out, but I love ballads. I'm a ballad girl. Dad was too, but you can't do a whole show in ballads. You'll put everybody to sleep, right? If I could, I would.
If you could, you would, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
When you hear that back, what runs through your veins? What are you feeling? What sensations are you experiencing when you hear that?
In the studio, when I was doing it, and just when I visit Dad, and I lost you.
Oh, we're still here. We got you.
Why did you go away? Oh, there you are. Oh my gosh. I got scared for a minute. Oh my God, where'd Jim go?
Oh, we're here. We're always here for you, Debby.
Yeah, just remembering sitting in the home with Dad. I haven't heard it in a long time. That's funny. Tony said that he was putting it on iTunes, and then somebody today said iTunes is no longer. Is that true? I have no idea. Maybe it's Spotify. I don't know.
Maybe they I think all of that is still there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to show you some of the, because we're doing the show live, sometimes we're able to bring in some of the commentary from our viewers in the chat room. We encourage everybody, if you're enjoying this episode, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. There are hundreds of incredible episodes, like 1,100, almost 1,200 episodes we have done with extraordinary guests. And Debby is a return guest. We're so honored by that. And leave a like for us if you enjoyed this episode. That helps us grow. And leave a comment in the comments section. Here's some quick comments coming in from the chat room, which is a gift for those who have subscribed to the channel. They can chat in the chat room. Sherry Larson says that, she says, wowza, what an amazing song with purple hearts and red hearts in there as well. Nice. And she's in Kansas. And Kathleen in New York City is clapping and says beautiful, and the prayer sign as well, which is really nice. And Maurice, who is actually in Phoenix, Arizona, just north of Chandler, Arizona. That touched the deepest part of my heart What an absolutely beautiful song. And whether we're talking about Alzheimer's or anything else, that song touches people, I think, as a song universally, no
Right.
matter what it is we're dealing with in our lives. And I think that's so incredible. Um, Friends, let's welcome all the new viewers who are joining us here on the Jim Masters Show Live Celebrity Talk Show Series. Friends of Glen, the Glen Campbell Facebook group is here. We
I
welcome
see
you.
that. Yeah.
Hello, Debbie. Debbie's an amazing lady, gives so much to her dad and to her fans, her own fans, her dad's fans, and her own. Welcome, friends of Glen Campbell. It's an honor and a privilege to have you here. Come see us again as well. We love having lots of new folks joining us.
Yeah,
And
there's two fog. I call it fog. Fog, Friends of Glen, right? Yeah, so there's that website. Then there's also the we need to get Glen Campbell into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
yes,
And that's
absolutely.
Fog is run by Hyde Kirby, and Tim Plashat runs the Glen should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I
Fans.
love that. Absolutely. You got our vote for sure. Merlin in Canada, one of our JMS Lovities. We call our viewers Lovities because we say the show has light, love, and levity.
All
And
right.
we said that in the beginning of the pandemic. And Merlin in Ontario, oh my God, what a touching song. And Austin Field says that is a beautiful song, very meaningful. It really, really is. I'm glad you got a chance to hear it. And again, yeah, all these great comments. Thank you. We appreciate all this levity coming in here. And
Yeah, and tell them, Jim, that they need to go to Heritage Chart, heritagechart.co.uk, and vote. I'm trying to get that song to .1 by August 8th on the anniversary of Dad's passing.
so say that again. It's heritagechart.co.uk.com. Okay,
Yeah.
terrific.
And it's number 11 right now.
Is it really?
Yeah, it started at 31 when it went into the charts, and then it went to 19, and this week it's up to 11.
Wow,
So
that's
you
fantastic.
can vote. You can vote once a week. I think it's once a week. I think the new chart comes out on Monday, but you can vote once a week on every electronic device you have. So if you have 3 electronic devices, you can vote on each one of them, but only once a week. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. That's fantastic.
So I'm really excited
Congratulations.
that everybody's loving it, and I've been doing so many interviews, Jim. I mean, on my days off, they've got me from sun up to sundown.
And I bet you're enjoying it,
I
right?
am. I
You're
love
enjoying
talking
it.
to everybody. I do. I really do.
We love chatting with you because you are a breath of fresh air. You've got a great sense of humor. You roll with the punches. And one of the key things, and I mentioned this, I've mentioned the first conversation we had when you were a guest on our show a year or so ago, how refreshing and delightful you are. You have a quick wit. But one of the main things that I really enjoyed, and I love a good quick wit, is you're the real deal. There's no airs about you. You are Debbie, and you are a straight shooter, and you care, and you're compassionate, you're empathetic. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And I think people get that from you. They get that and they love it. And so I just wanted to reiterate that,
Thanks.
yeah, you just, there's no.
I have to tell you a funny story. I had a pink T-shirt on today, right? Cash. I said, okay, I got to go put makeup on. I got to talk to Jim at 5, so I got to put makeup on. And Hazel comes in and she goes, well, what are you wearing? I go, well, I'm going to wear this T-shirt. Nana. And she goes into my closet and she brings out this shirt. You're going to be on TV. You have to look like a star. I go, no, I'm cash. I like to be casual, comfortable. She goes, you can't wear a T-shirt. I go, why not? Jim's not going to care. So I compromised with her. But it was so funny. It was really cute. A 7-year-old saying, Nana, you cannot wear a T-shirt.
She's wardrobe, hair, and makeup. She's going to go into fashion.
She is. No, I think she's going to be a veterinarian probably. Who knows?
Oh, she loves animals.
She loves snakes, reptiles, everything.
Does she have them?
She has a snake. Yeah.
My nephew has 2. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. I think her snake's name is Lila. And she's waiting for Lila to get a little bit bigger so she can breed her. I'm like, oh my. She goes, I either want to be a contortionist or a snake breeder. I'm like, Hazel, I don't think they make money. Maybe you want to be a veterinarian.
But she's 7?
She's 7. Yeah.
And she said a contortionist?
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
She is so hysterical.
She's ahead of her time, isn't she?
She can carry on a whole adult conversation with you.
Contortionist is a word that's hard for even adults to say.
I know. She's quite the character. Yeah.
Wow. So there's a lot of spark and passion and energy there within her, huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's what it's all about. I mean, it's the love of family. And again, you've honored your father in such a glorious and beautiful way. The song is spectacular. And again, I know a lot of fans of your father, fans of you, and all of the above are so happy to hear, this wonderful relationship and the incredible passion you have for sharing his story, and
Right.
all the music that he's responsible for all these years, and doing it in such a loving, deep, and profound way, which I think is, nothing is better. And people are remembering, of course, his show on TV, which we talked about as well. But what's the feedback you get when people have seen you perform? I know you love the studio work, but when you are on stage and you are celebrating the music of your father, Glen Campbell,
They're very receptive.
I imagine they are.
Yeah,
Huh?
they are. They're very receptive. And they want me to do more different songs, but I just don't ever see myself singing Galveston or Southern Nights, or unless I did it like with a big band behind me, maybe jazzy. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I would love to do big band stuff. In fact, I've been telling Tony, tell Donnie Most, because Donnie Most from Happy
Oh,
Days.
Don, yeah, he's been a
I
guest on
love
the show.
Don,
Yeah.
And he's done a lot of big band stuff, and I would love to go on tour with Donnie and do the big band stuff. I think Dad's songs would be amazing with that.
How cool would that be?
Yeah.
That would be beautiful. Something very touching, as we celebrate you and we celebrate your father and we celebrate all the music, was this photo.
Oh, that was just the beginning of this month. Yeah.
That is beautiful. Yeah. It looks
And
like
all the guitar picks, Jim, that you look at the top of there's so many guitar picks and stones and just, yeah. So right now we're trying to work on getting a bronze statue made of Dad. As you walk onto the cemetery, Jim, it'll freak you out if you go there at night, because when you walk onto the cemetery, a big floodlight comes up and Dad starts singing Amazing Grace. It would totally just freak you out if it was dark at night. If Dad's singing.
That's what happens when you go there?
Yes, that's what happens when you walk into the cemetery.
And all of a sudden.
So we're in the middle of trying to get a bronze statue built, and I think we just might be getting that done. I've had some great news in the past couple of weeks, and so it looks like that might just happen, and it already has an historic marker there at the cemetery. It's the Campbell. It's on my uncle's land, and so it's the Campbell cemetery.
That's those. The bronze statues is such a beautiful thing. They did that in the hometown of, you mentioned Happy Days, of Marion Ross.
Oh yeah, right.
Who was a guest on our show too. Of course, Mrs. C from Happy Days.
Right.
Then they put she wasn't from there, but yet just because the television show was based there, or it was supposed to be based there, that wonderful bronze statue of Mary Tyler Moore throwing the hat in the air in Minneapolis.
Yeah. Right, yeah.
And Lucille Ball, there's a fabulous statue of her, I believe, in Jamestown, New York, Celeron, Jamestown, where she's from originally.
Yeah, she lived right next door to my dad's old producer, which was Nick Savano. Lucille Ball lived right next to him.
Oh, I didn't realize. Really? That house that was, wow.
Yeah.
We were just, Lucy Arnaz is a friend, and we were just at her concert. She's still out performing, and
That's awesome.
she did a wonderful concert in New York at 54 Below called I've Got the Job. And it was really all about her musical theater career, all of the incredible opportunities in musical theater, and of course paying tribute to her dad and her mom as well. And people love that. These figures are iconic figures, but when you have it being told and celebrated by the family of, in this case, like yourself, the child of, it's something extra special, right?
Yeah. Have you ever interviewed Dina Martin?
She is amazing. I've
Yes,
got
she
to.
is so kind. I just love her.
She's a friend as well, and I met her
Yeah,
originally in New York, and her fabulous husband,
right.
and they're
I've
wonderful
never met her
people.
in person, but
You haven't?
I've interviewed her on my Debby
Isn't she
Campbell Goodtime Hour.
terrific?
Yeah, very nice lady. Yeah,
She carries her.
yeah,
That's for those listening and watching. She's the daughter of the iconic Dean Martin,
yeah. And she
Dina
lives
Martin,
in Branson. Yeah.
and she's in Branson. Branson has really become. Had you ever thought of Branson at all, or no? You
Oh, all
like where
the time.
you are?
I
You
lived
do.
there. I lived there for 5 years, Jim, when Dad had a
That's
theater.
right.
I would
That's
love to
right. I
live there
forgot
today
about
because
that.
everybody's so awesome.
Yeah, I forgot
Yeah,
about that. Yeah, Andy Williams had his theater there as
yeah,
well, and
yeah. It
yeah,
was,
so many people. Tony Orlando was there.
yeah. Tony had his own theater for a while. Yep.
Yes,
Ray
that's
Stevens,
right. I
Willie Nelson
forgot you
had
were
his theater
there.
there for a while.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody had a theater there.
What do you think the draw was to Branson? What was it about Branson?
Because it's the hometown people that it's a beautiful place in the middle of the Ozarks. Um, and just it was Silver Dollar City's there, so that's like an amusement. Um, Pete and Jody started Silver Dollar City, and I think it was his brother also. Their last name is escaping me, and I don't know why. But Pete and Jody started that, and so then people would come to Silver Dollar City. It's kind of like Dollywood, where you have the amusement stuff, and then they just decided to have entertainment, and they built all these theaters, and people kept moving in and out of one theater and going to another, and Mel Tillis had his there, and but I loved it. Beautiful memories, beautiful, beautiful memories.
That's incredible. What are some other things before we get ready to wrap? Because we don't want to take too much time because you have that wonderful grandchild on the other side of the door there being very patient, I'm
I
sure.
see a note under my door too.
Is there a note under the door?
She's probably written me a note.
Oh my God, what a hoot, huh?
She is. She
That
is.
is funny. I
Yeah.
love that. She probably a note saying, "We see you on YouTube on the Jim Masters show, and you're doing great, Grandma."
No, I think my husband's in there cooking, and she's probably
Oh,
telling
she's cooking.
it's time to eat dinner, Nana.
Time to eat dinner. Why do you love this so much? Obviously, you've done so many great things. You've got this wonderful career within the airline industry that you've done. You've got a beautiful family. You're celebrating your dad. You're singing the music yourself. You've written the book. You've got so many other things you're working on. What continues to give you such great joy that you want to share all of this with all of us, Debbie?
I truly, genuinely love people. I do. I truly love. Dad said if Debbie would talk to anyone, and she'd talk to a telephone pole if it would talk back. He was so funny, but he's always making fun of me because I just talk to anybody and everybody, and so would he. I'm so much like him, Jim, and I never knew that until I was with him. And now I find myself laughing at things that Dad would have said to somebody, but he would get away with it. I would probably get slapped. He'd go up to somebody and go, "So how long the doctor say you got to wear those shoes?" And I'm like, he could get away with it because of who he was, Yeah, yeah. Or he'd go up to somebody and go, "Boy, you don't miss many meals, do you?" And I'm like, "Dad, you just don't say things like that."
You're just there's certain ways to word it.
Exactly.
Brian Perry says, "This is great. Love Debbie and her story. Blessed to have had her in my life for over 34 years. She's such an amazing, talented, and gifted woman."
I love you, Brian.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Here.
So if I shared this to my Facebook, people are watching it from that?
They're watching it live right now from our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV, and the YouTube link can be shared on your social media, and they could either see this live now, or we also
did that. I shared it. So there's
cool.
that right there. Okay, all right.
We appreciate that. And then it's also going to be archived on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. So sometimes people share it again, say, "Hey, I was on the Jim Masters Show live series." If you missed it, because it is live, you could see it in its entirety, and they click on the YouTube link and it brings them right to the channel, and they see the whole conversation and everything.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Very
cool. It's an interesting technology. I come from the television radio world and all,
You do.
and this is this technology that we're using now for these kinds of things is quite amazing, and it brings us all together. And you are spectacular. Just want to show you a couple of quickies here from our lovelies. You're such a beautiful person inside and out, Debbie. Thank you for being Jim's special guest again. Be well and God bless. And Kathleen in New York wanted to add, thanks for being here, Debbie. Loved this conversation. Not really, we call these conversations versus interviews. Loved hearing about your dad, wishing you continued blessings as well. And here's another one. Sherry says, thank you for coming back to update us on all that is going on in your life, Debbie. I grew up listening to your dad, love his music. Best wishes with your wonderful song.
That's
and
awesome.
Absolutely beautiful.
Debbie, and you're a great interviewer, Jim. I told you that before.
I appreciate that very, very much. I really, I like to listen. I'm a why person. I like to feel it and, be a part of it. And I don't look at it like I'm the host, you're the guest. Right. I think we're all in this equally together, and the viewers are a part of it, and we all get something from it. And I think that makes a big, big difference. Thank you for the work you're doing with Alzheimer's. Thank you for continuing to keep your dad's incredible memory alive. Thanks for all the great music. We know more will be coming out. Can't wait to hear about the Christmas. Come back and see us again. Yeah, we love. I'm a big collector of Christmas music. I have lots of it. And as I said last time, and we were true to our word, we kept the porch light on for you to come back. We're going to keep that porch light on for you to return. And I hope you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks
to all your listeners and my listeners.
All the loveties, right?
Yeah, all the levities. Absolutely.
Debbie's going to have dinner with them.
Go vote.
Go vote. Yeah, give us that address again.
heritagechart.co.uk. It's on my Debby Campbell page on Facebook. So
fantastic.
Thank you so much, Jim. Love
Debbie,
you.
Love from the East Coast. We'll see you again soon. And thanks for all the time. You've been very generous. We appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Take care now.
Bye. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
See you later. Debby Campbell returning to the Jim Masters Show live. And wow, what a blessing. If you enjoyed this episode, folks, here's what you can do to continue to celebrate what we're doing here at our Entertainment Lifestyle Celebrity Talk Show series. Give it a like. There's a thumbs up icon. Give it a like. We would love for you to do that. That helps our show grow. More people see it around the world. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Some of your favorite celebrity guests, some of our celebrity friends and special guests from television, movies, music, life, from sports, from comedy, from culinary arts, food. They all come here. Authors, psychics. It's like an entertainment lifestyle celebrity talk show series celebrating people and life. And our celebrity friends stop by and special guests entertain us and have great conversations, as we say. So give us a like on the YouTube channel. Drop a comment in the comments section. We would love that. That means the world to us when you do interact with us. And maybe you've got some Glen Campbell memories as well, or you love Debbie and you want to comment. Feel free to do that on the YouTube channel underneath this episode. And you can share the episode directly from our YouTube channel on your social media, as well as Debbie is doing. We appreciate that. And you can also find us and me on the internet as well. So feel free to come see us on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter, and also Facebook at Jim Masters TV. Jim Masters TV for Instagram, Facebook, and X. Come say hi, interact, and come see us. And of course, the YouTube channel is Jim Masters TV as well. Like, comment, subscribe. Wow. This was, again, a return visit for Debbie. She was with us before, and she wanted to come back on the show. We wanted her back, and we are so blessed and honored to have her back. We had a lot of good conversation, a lot of laughs, some really poignant moments, some deep conversation as well, celebrating her iconic father, and of course, her amazing career as well, celebrating her dad. And again, I absolutely love the fact that she not only honors her dad and all the hits and all the great music, but, talking about, this is a situation where, early on, she didn't necessarily grow up with her father, but as time went on, they got a chance to develop a wonderful, loving relationship. And she's able to really learn about him and celebrate him and see the nuances, the similarities, the personalities, as she said, very, very similar. And her voice is really something, isn't it? Absolutely spectacular. And again, that single it's very touching, isn't it? And yeah, and so, keep an eye out for that as well. She is, as I said last time, a breath of fresh air. If you want to get the book that she also penned, there it is. I think I'll slide over here. There I am next to Glen Campbell. Glen Campbell, Life with My Father. And this is from Debby Campbell. We showed this when she was with us last time. I just wanted to show that again in case you didn't know she wrote a book about her life with her father. And of course, Debby Campbell music is Debby Campbell. And just some really wonderful shots that we showed here as well as we sort of sprinkled them in. These amazing awards of acclaim for her father, Glen. Some really beautiful photos back in time. And of course, this recent shot where she was visiting the gravesite of her dad, Glen Campbell. And how cool. She mentioned that when you go to the cemetery, when you are approaching the stone and the family plot there, Glen Campbell's voice comes on, and all of a sudden you're hearing him sing Amazing Grace. That is amazing, right? Wow. How they were able to get that and arrange that is really something quite special. Hey, if this is your first time joining us here at the Jim Masters Show Live series, as you can see, we do it like a television series. I work in TV and radio, so we do it kind of like a TV series, talk show kind of a thing, not just an interview show where I'm asking pre-scripted questions, but it's like a talk show. If this is your first time here, we welcome you to the Jim Masters Show Live series. Going to take a look at a few more comments before we wrap up here, see some of your kindness and your words. We welcome everybody. Spread the word about our show. Binge watch some of the past episodes. Thank you to everybody who's liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing to the YouTube channel. It takes a village. We love you all. We really appreciate you all. And, with you here, that allows us to continue to do what we do. And we love doing so much, which is presenting these episodes in this series for you as well. And let's take a look at some of these fantastic words and comments. Hey, Kathleen Walker in New York City. She just did a super sticker, which is super chat, super sticker, super emojis is this little thing that folks can do that are in our JMS chat room. The chat room is a gift for the subscribers of our series on YouTube. And, you just hit the click subscribe. You can comment when the show is live in the chat room and also leave a comment underneath. And thank you very much for your generosity as well. She's in New York City, the Big Apple. We appreciate that. So we'll use that $3 and when that light bulb burns out, we'll use that $3 to replace that light bulb. Actually, that light bulb in there is LED and it's probably $20, but we'll use it towards it. Thank you very much, Kathleen. You're the best. We appreciate that. And all the comments coming in as well. And look at this. I love this comment as well. Phoenix Rising, the Glen Campbell Archives, watching the Jim Masters Show. Welcome to the fold. You're now part of the Lovity Squad, the JMS Lovity Squad. Wonderful interview with a wonderful lady that I'm honored to call my friend. God bless you all. Thank you. Diamond. Well, Diamond, come see us again. Check out past episodes. There's so many iconic folks who have been with us here on the Jim Masters Show, Celebrity Friends and more, and many more to come. And Phoenix Rising, great to have you here. Diamond, welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. We love all this, and it's really kind of you to share all these great comments. And I'm glad that you all enjoyed this, and you're letting us know in the chat room. But again, if you're watching this live or watching this later, do leave a comment in the comment section as well. That really helps us. And good stuff. Really good. So you shared this episode to the group. Terrific. Thank you for doing that. So that way there people can see this as well, and more can enjoy. Was this a great conversation? We appreciate our friend Debby Campbell stopping by the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Celebrity Talk Show series once again. Last night we had another incredible guest. We had the legendary actress Susan Lanier. She was in Welcome Back, Kotter. She was in the movie The Hills Have Eyes and so much more. She was here last night. If you missed that episode with legendary actress Susan Lanier, check that out. It's Eric Roberts, of course, another incredible iconic actor. He was here. His sister is Julia Roberts. His daughter is Emma Roberts. And of course, he's known for so many incredible movies as well. He was with us recently, and hundreds more great guests stopping by Loverty Hall in the Jim Masters Show Live series. All right, gang, we love having you here. Thanks for joining us. Come see us again. We'll keep the porch light on for you as well. As we always say, don't forget to love one another, take care of one another, and don't forget to love yourself. And like, comment, subscribe. That really helps us grow. We appreciate all of you who do that. And again, we thank Debbie in honor of Glen Campbell, her dad, for stopping by our show once again. And thanks to everybody. And congratulations again to Debbie and, of course, Tony Manter and everybody involved, Plateau Music, who made that song available in the form that it is. It Looks Like Rain is the name of the song. So look out for that. And again, they releasing that single, and the song is about Alzheimer's. Debbie recorded the song on her album titled The Way We Were, and it was dedicated to her father, the late Glen Campbell, music icon who passed away from the dreaded disease. So it was my pleasure when they reached out to us to share that with you, and much more to come. All right, we love you all. This was a lot of fun, wasn't it? And it was also poignant, a lot of moving, poignant moments to this conversation with Debbie. So one more time, we thank Debbie. We thank all of you. I'm your host, Jim Masters. Come see us again. We'll be right here waiting for you. We'll keep the porch light on for you here at JMS as well. And we love doing that. Be well, take care. Join us again right here on the Jim Masters Show. Cheers.